Welcome, welcome. My name is Worldology. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, is going to be a longer video, right? You know, I like the little longer videos. So, let me get started, right? Man, there was a lot of stuff on, you know, Battlefield in the community and what's going on in the aiming community. You know what I'm gonna say, right? The aiming community, the competitive community, you know, the good player community and whatnot. So there's the most viral gaming clip I heard, of course, was that uh, a content creator or streamer was apparently, you know, quote unquote cheating in Battlefield because of a target switch behind a rock that was basically, or technically, tracking the person behind the rock, right? So I want to get this off my chest, right? Everybody's saying that Battlefield players are, you know, casuals and stuff. But again, Battlefield players is in a more development stage than Call of Duty, right? I'm not going to get into a Call of Duty versus Battlefield war, but I'm just going to say that, you know, Battlefield is more situational and positional, right? So, you know, only people in you know, the veterans in Battlefield 4, I'm talking about the competitive veterans, and Battlefield 3, and basically the ones that made the movement and all that aiming, you know, popular in Battlefield, right? Only those type of players know what the aim and how you can actually aim and target switch and do all that tracking in Battlefield is like, right? So the thing is with tracking with, you know, RileyCS, I think is what the person's name is, right? The thing about tracking that I seen the video, tracking behind the wall, I'm not even gonna put no videos up. I'm just gonna say it in the most simple way possible. So if you do watch the video or see the video or watch the video why I'm talking about it, the person that he that the she tracked was basically behind the rock, right? And then she tracked, but it wasn't necessarily a track, if you get what I mean. It was a guess. You know, that's the whole thing about aiming, right? About the aim community. They only guess where the next person is, which is what everybody does. If you see every Battlefield creator who plays BF4 or anything, a lot of, you know, people like to guess target switch. I don't see why a lot of people don't know what guess target switching is, but it's a thing. I do it sometimes. So yeah, it was already like addressed on the mini map as well that, you know, the flag was captured. So it's the most obvious thing if you're standing still at the moment, you're very, you know, you're in a squishy spot. You're in a you're in a very yeah, you're in a squishy spot. I can't really think of no words right now. But you're in a squishy spot. And if somebody sees you, you're dead instantly because your RileyCS was out in the middle of nowhere. And the only thing that, you know, that person could do at that moment was switch to any viable spot that another person was at. And it was mainly a spot that was red, which means that the enemy team that she was going against was captured and they was there at the moment. So that's my thing. If you don't understand it, then don't even try to understand. Just look at some other places or like get some try hard sequences and into your gameplay or something. Like just develop your gameplay style or something. Because it's not really that hard to see. And the thing is with aimbot, right? Is that with RileyCS was tracking, right? When you're aimbotting and you go into another track, it's like an instant. You know how when you're tracking, right? All my aim trainers out there, when you're tracking, it takes like maybe 2 seconds to get into a smooth state, you know. So with aimbot, as soon as you track onto a person, it instantly smooths, instantly, and then like you just track with your eyes, meaning that for people who don't really aim train or anything like that, when you track, you are able to smooth the person out. So with Riley, right, she had to readjust on the person and then smooth. It wasn't really a smooth soon as she seen the target, right, and aimed on the target. So it's just different things that you have to see or like notice in aim training or aim tracking or anything of the levels of tracking and stuff like that. So I want to get that out of the way. It's not really that big of a deal. And I just wanted to get my thoughts off on it. It's not really that much I can say about it because, I'm not really the biggest aim trainer person. So the next topic is the Reddit community is saying that the maps are too small in Battlefield 6, right? So let's get this started. Do Battlefield never had a three-way map like Call of Duty. And Battlefield 6 has the slowest running speed in the Battlefield franchise, right? So I'm gonna get to that, right? The thing is that we know that Battlefield 6 is the slowest in the franchise, and people are saying that Battlefield 6's maps are the slowest, means that a lot of goldfish wants to swim very fast in this game and not pay attention to where they're going or what they're doing in these type of CQC scenarios, which is why they go 1 and 10, 3 and 13, 4 and 15, 7 and 0, and deaths, vice versa, with no kills. So they're going 0 and 7. So the thing is about that is that, okay, say if we want to have bigger maps, right? If we have the slowest running speed in this franchise, in the new game we have, slower than BF1, slower than what other game was pretty slow? No, BF1 felt like the slowest BF at that moment to me. So if we had the slowest movement speed in our game in this current day, it won't be very satisfying to go to any objective when everything is fast paced. Because mostly every map in Battlefield is kind of CQC. Every spot in Battlefield is kind of have a CQC. They're going to bring back legacy maps like Operation Firestorm. If you know about that on Rush, you have to run through the desert to get to one of the spots in one of the warehouses, right? So if you have a 0 speed and, we know that mortars and stuff and incendiary grenade launchers, which needs to be removed in the game, we know all of that is in the game, right? So if you have the slowest movement speed, 6.88 speed, which is running normally, which is very slow, then we know how fun-timey that would be, right? If we actually have that in the game, that type of movement speed. So, and the thing is, right, Redditors or whoever's complaining about the movement mechanics, DICE said that the movement mechanics will stay in the game, because if they mess with the movement, then it will have a Battlefield 5 effect again, and a Battlefield 1 effect. So, if they, the thing is, people are complaining about the movement in a game, and then now they're complaining about the maps as being too small. And say we're already going to get bigger maps anyway, because we're going to get legacy maps and bigger maps at that. We're going to get downtown from Hardline, I think. I hope so, even though I don't like the map. It's still a bigger map than what we see in the beta of Battlefield 6. Is that if we're going to need to make the movement speed faster, because then the maps won't play how they're supposed to be played as a legacy map, because the pace of the game won't be as the pace of a Battlefield game. It would just be maps, just like assets just placed there, because the flow of how the gameplay will be, because our movement speed isn't like up there with at least the core, the OG Battlefields, BF3 to Hardline, because that's where we're going back to, right? So it's kind of like, what do you want, right? Because we're going to get, we're going to get something. If you want bigger maps, we're going to get faster movement. If we keep CQCs, we're going to have the slower movement, and it's just going to play how it is, and you're just going to complain about nothing. So what do you want? I don't know. I think the movement speed should be up anyway. And what I was thinking, right, as we all seen that list, we're on the 8th or the 9th or the 10th, whatever, on the list of the slowest movement speed, right, in the franchise. So I think 6th through 4th of a rank of the speed in Battlefield would be nice. It would be pretty nice. That would be the sweet spot. The 6th spot through the 4th spot. So the 6th spot, the 5th spot, or the 4th spot. It don't necessarily have to be 3, 2, 1, or too slow, 7, 8, and 10, or whatever we're the last again. So it's like, what do you want? You're complaining about something that you don't know what you're complaining about. Because why would we get bigger maps if we're just going to have this slow ass movement speed, and then people going to complain about, oh shit, bro, why can't I get to the damn objective, man? They capture the objective every time. I'm already halfway there, but they still capture the objective. Like, you're just complaining about, like, come on, dude. Do you want more movement speed? Or do you want bigger maps? Then we're going to get both of those. Do you want CQC maps? We're going to get the slower movement, because if it's going to be too hectic if we have faster movement and then CQC maps, because everybody's just going to be getting moved on. And then people already say it plays like Call of Duty, when in reality, bro, do people see Call of Duty clips, bro? Seriously. Do people really look at, like, take a hard look at good Call of Duty players, or people who moves around in Call of Duty? Do y'all really have eyeballs? So the last thing I want to say is that the custom search and the server browser, custom search versus the server browser. The thing is that the custom search is good, right? But the server browser, it literally depicts on what you're looking at and what you're doing and what you see on your screen. Custom search, you can't see nothing. You don't know how many people is playing that map. You don't know what the ping is on that map. You don't know what's going on in the games that you're playing on that map. And on custom search, right, I picked Empire State, I think, for my stream for Rush, right? And then I played it a few times, maybe like four, and then I got into a Emberation Peak or whatever, that mountain map with all the snipers, that terrible map, right? And I got it, and I didn't even click custom search on for it. I didn't toggle it on. I might be wrong, but to me, I did not toggle it on because I wanted Empire State for the whole time. They tried a new map. So the thing is with that, right? Guys, you have the battle log. I know, like the servers and stuff is, the servers can get DDoS and the servers. And one of y'all, was it you, Serlin? You said that you didn't want the servers to be going on for too long, and I got blew up by that thing. Go up and have like 0 players on the servers. Yeah, that's understandable, but I don't think there's only 0 servers in like Hardline or something. There's barely 0 servers in BF4 or BF1 because y'all actually did something with that. You actually made it a thing where you can't have 0 players on it. So I don't see what the issue is about making any server, for that matter, to have players on it. To only strict it to having players. And the game is already above, 10 times above you know, what it is now, because y'all did a good job with the game. I don't think the custom search is good for Battlefield, in my opinion, because it doesn't show how the game's doing. Like, we already know the game is good. And I already showed this clip in the background, so don't worry. Please do not worry about it. But yeah, that is all I'm gonna say for this video. Is everything in the game is right, but it's just a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed, right? The bugs, incendiary grenades, incendiary grenade launchers, and all that. Yeah, hopefully that stuff gets removed. Hopefully. But the thing is that I think we're back, man. And that is all I'm gonna say for this video. I have nothing to say. So hope you like, share, and subscribe. Hey, press like on the video. You can follow my Twitch kick at Worldology and Worldology on YouTube if you want to, check more of my videos out. And I'll post and I'll stream for you as well. And just come in and have a good time. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for this video, and see you.